Welcome to a new series on this channel called Modular Builds, and I hope you're all having a great day. In this series, I'm hoping to help you take certain assets or clusters of assets from something that's just plopped onto a road just to meet some demand into potentially a focal point of your city, something that you would be proud to take screenshots of and really can make your city pop. So in today's episode, we are going to focus on the cemetery. I'm hoping with this build, you can spark a little bit of imagination in your city about how grand they really can be and how important they actually are, not only in city skylines, but in real life as well. So without further ado, let's build a cemetery. All right, so we are going to start with just your classic road, and if you want to use a different road instead, feel free to. This will work with any of the 2-lane roads, this particular dimensions, but we are going to take this up by 30. It's going to be a perfect 30 by 30 square, and then back down by 30. And then we're going to take the road again, and we're going to find the middle point, which is going to be 15, which is right here. And we're going to come up by 6, and then again 15, which is right here, and up by 6, and then we're just going to connect those two together. And then we're going to dive into the world of unique buildings, and I would like to grab let's see if I can find it. Here it is. This is the Plaza of the Dead. Okay, so pretty simple, and it does center on that road. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take some dirt roads. I want to come up by 80, and then from this corner as well up by 80. We're basically just going to connect these two. All right, so these are the roads that our cemeteries are going to sit on. So let's go into cemeteries, and I want to leave 1 tile on the left and 2 tiles on the right. And again, same thing. This time 1 tile on the right, 2 tiles on the left. And so far, just looking at this brings a little bit more grandiose to a cemetery build. But we are not done yet. So back here, I would like to take a small park and just sit it in the corner there. And then I'm going to take some dirt paths, and I would like to run these all the way down to about here. Oh, I'm sorry. Run these all the way down to box in the cemetery. And then we can do a little curve with this one. Again, let's just box in the cemetery. And then we can connect up here. And we can connect up here and here. And then we can just do a simple curve on this one, like so. So now we've got a nice little park behind, and we can use some of the trees that are within that park to sort of just extend it. It just sort of brings a little bit more of the asset out towards the cemetery. And then if we want to get into a little bit of detailing early on, I really like these purple trees to sort of just sit along. I think some nice color in a build like this can go a long way. Like that. And then I even think, you can design this however you want. You could use the hedges. They would probably look really nice on here as well. I'm a huge fan of these little red bushes. I find I use them in my cities quite often. So just brings a little bit more color to the build. Something else you could do too, if you wanted to go this route, would be if you have these unlocked, the crematorium, you could also put these here, and you could say that maybe this is like a mausoleum type scenario. I know some, cemeteries do have a mausoleum where people are, buried within that building. So you could always do that as well. You could even put 2 of them on either side if you wanted to, like that. Also gives you a little bit of parking. You could do that as well. And then just a little trick that I like to do is if you add a little bit of gating just around. And then this is for the vanilla peeps out there. If you want to try to make a vanilla type graveyard, this is one way that I found is, kind of cool, I guess. But if you just take the small rock, I know it's very, very vanilla is the best way I guess I could put it, but a sort of, maybe at the right time of day when the moon is out, look like a gravestone. If you put some flowers behind it, like this, I mean, it does look like a little bit of an extension of the graveyard. One thing you could do is if you took that out, you could cut this just a little bit. That is not what I wanted to do. Like that, and then you could always just take a path as well and run a path along here. And then we could change the trees as well to maybe a chestnut tree or something like that. But, I mean, I know it's very vanilla, especially on console. We're very limited. There's no assets, something like that. If people maybe are playing on PC but don't really want to use mods and assets, that is a way to sort of make a small, like, vanilla, maybe a little bit of overgrowth here. Maybe one of those oak trees, potentially, if it'll fit. Right there. So that's really the meat and the potatoes of the build for the most part. It's more about how you want to decorate. You could bring this same thing around on this side as well. You could also, like I said, you could take these out if you don't like them there. If you're trying to find things to put in this triangle here, a few things that I find that I like are the post office. Sits real well on this corner here. And then another asset too that I really enjoy putting out, which I think is in the medical, is the yoga garden, and it'll sort of sit right out front. It kind of looks like maybe like a little flower garden that maybe you could go over there and just think about loved ones and things like that. You could also bring some paths down like this. Road guidelines are really messing me up. Always bring that down. You could always put in a little bit of commercial as well on the corner here. A little bit of commercial, maybe a little bit next to the post office. If you have offices available, maybe even a few offices would be kind of nice. Something like this. And you really can, when it comes to this triangle, you really can do whatever you want. But those are just a few assets that I tend to like. I know it seems maybe a little strange to put this here, but you could also, put like a medical center on the corner if you wanted to. Probably not a very grim report if the medical center is right next to the graveyard. Hopefully they're not the ones filling it. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the build. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I am going to detail it up just a little bit, and I will be right back. I'm also going to surround this a little bit with some residential, and so you can see with it, you can see it with a bunch of houses around it and how it can really fit into the neighborhood. But hold tight, and I'll be right back with this all designed up and with the neighborhood around it. Alright, so here is the cemetery with a little bit of a neighborhood surrounding it. I did come in and added in some more of our vanilla gravestone with the flowers. We've got the park over here. I took away the mausoleums or the crematoriums, whichever you feel you want to do, and I just added a little bit of dirt path with the prop gazebo, so the Sims, the residents, won't interact with that on console, unfortunately. But it's a nice little show. Adds a little bit more depth to the plaza in the front here. Out here, we just have a little bit of commercial, as well as our post office that we placed. And I put a little police station here, so almost like a little, I don't want to say town center, but a little bit of a administration kind of triangle here. And we've got the yoga garden as well across from the Plaza of the Dead. So, I mean, I really like this build, and I hope you do too. And it just brings a little bit more importance to a cemetery within your cities, rather than just taking a cemetery and plopping on the road and calling it a day. Now, of course, not every cemetery will be this grandiose, but maybe just a little bit extra around the sides. Maybe you do this little bit of vanilla going around all three sides that aren't attached to the road, and you can really extend the cemetery asset that way. But I hope you guys really enjoyed this episode. I'm gonna keep them coming if you have any suggestions on things you'd like to see me build. Any of my console friends out there that are having struggles with trying to figure out how to use a particular asset more than just plopping it on the road, feel free to leave a comment. Even my PC friends who are, staying away from the temptation of the mods, which if I was on PC, I'd be all over that. But if you're playing vanilla as well, feel free to leave a comment, and also just let me know what you think. Thumbs up would always be nice, and if you think it's worth a thumbs down, feel free to hit that as well. But either way, in the comments, let me know what you guys think, and until next time, I hope everyone has a great rest of your day, and we will see you later. Have a good one.